Okay, I'm back. I've never done this before. We're in uncharted territory, so I'm just gonna make another video right on the back of this one. So we'll see how that works out. I am not a professional video maker. Of any sort. Okay. And if these videos don't turn out, then you won't see them. So now I'm going to trim these off. You won't see them and you won't even know. So. Come on, scissors. Okay, so now the inside is done. Cut these strings off. Some journal makers leave strings on. I do not. I don't know if it's because from all the years I made quilts, but strings are not attractive to me. I'm sure you can hear my little dog and my husband out there sawing wood. It is a beautiful day here today, which I'm glad for, because it has been so cold this year. Normally by now we're in the 80s. Goodness. And I dislike cold. So here is an area that needs to have some work. And I have to figure out how I want to do that. How I want to strengthen that. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. Here's the back. Here's the front. I really like the front. And I probably will put something on the back, because I'm not crazy about that. It looks disjointed to me. And so, but I do like the front. And of course I got this dang glue on the front. Ugh, I hate this glue. So, the next thing that I will do is, once it's all dry, I will sew around it. Maybe, do I want to put this on here? See, I could. What I should have done was just wrapped it around like that. But didn't do that, did I? So, that would be an idea for you if you were just going to use the same. And this is not quite wide enough because I would want to also cover that spine. So, and when I cover the spine, I can strengthen this. So, how shall I do it? Okay, so what I decided to do was just use this same collection that I used at the spine. Like this. And this edge is straight, because it's there, the edge of the front. Like this. And I used my glue stick. This was the torn edge. I didn't want the torn edge there. I wanted a straight edge. Okay, so now we can go back to this. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is make this. Nah. So a lot of times what I do with my glue stick is I put a heavy amount in the center and then come back with my wet glue along the edges after I get everything down where I want it. Like this. I'm going to cut this edge off. Like so. And then I'll put more glue here. So I don't necessarily, what my point is, I don't necessarily put glue all over everything. I glue what needs to be glued, and then once I get everything positioned, then I come in with the rest. Okay, so here's the spine. There's the inside. And I'm going to let this dry. Now, I don't know how I'm going to pause my video long enough to let this dry and come back to it. We're only 8 minutes into this one. And so that means that we have quite a bit left that I could be recording, but I'm not gonna continue because I want it to be dry. I mean, it's just, now I can show you how I prepare for the holes. For the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So, as we can see, this is 1/4 of an inch, and like we discussed before, this ruler, which this happens to be an OmniGrid, but it's for quilting, and you can see it's marked into 8ths. It is so handy. Another one that I use, which it's also a quilting tool. It's a little harder to read though, but it's also marked into 8ths. So take this 1/8 line, because that's going to be half, and set it right along the edge of this fabric. like so. You want to have this top straight though. And then you determine, do you want it your hole at an inch? If so, mark it at an inch. And then I go up from the bottom. Since it's probably and then mark it. Okay. And then between these two, and it certainly does not have to be exact like that. So you'll punch a hole there and there and there to do your 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So, and I'm not going to do that because again, it's not dry, and all it's going to do is cause my fabric to get all winky. So I don't want to do that. It's really important that things are dry. So kind of what I was thinking is, remember the flowers that I made the other day? Let me get those out. I was thinking that some of those might be really cute on the front. I've got to put away already. To kind of decorate. I mean, you are going to cover up a little bit of the front. So that one's kind of big. I would probably make a smaller one. This one obviously doesn't match in the color, but that would be really cute. You could cover up serving suggestions. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is I'm going to make a flower to go on the front of it, like we made in our video last week. Which, isn't this one cute? Oh yeah, that's really cute. So maybe I don't have to make one. Maybe I'll just use that one. And then I will probably add some kind of paper ruffle. I'll pull out my paper ruffle tub. Maybe put some paper ruffle on there. And a flower. That would be cute. Could even put it down here. So that's kind of what my thinking is. Just pull out some of the things that I've already got made, because I've got a tub full of all different widths of paper and even fabric. So typically what I do is, once I'm sitting down to make something like ruffles or whatever, I make them all. I just keep making them. I have everything ready. I pull everything out and put them all into one location. And then that way, when I need to, or when I'm wanting to use them, I've got them all ready, and I don't have to sit down and make each element as I go. So, and then on the inside is this coffee dyed paper, or tea stained. It's not coffee. And this is one whole sheet that I folded in half. I put them all together, however many I wanted. I folded them in half, Now, one of the things that you know that happens is when they are folded in half, the inside pages, because of the amount of space that they take here, the pages stick out a little bit. So what I did was I determined the size that I wanted them to be. I took my ruler, put it where I wanted it, and then I just ripped those pages off. If you didn't want to rip it, you could use a straight edge like this, and you'd want to use a metal ruler or your acrylic ruler, and then you could just cut it. I just tore mine because I like the torn look. So I tore them off, and so now you don't have to worry about your pages on the inside sticking out further than the outer pages. And then I did the same thing. I trimmed it off up here too. So, and then when I do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, I will do it on the inside. Actually, so some of this is, so like this page, this is avocado dyed. And some of this is tea, and some of it's avocado. This one was really cool because I used a like a oven pan that had squares in it, just to see what that would look like, and I thought that turned out really cool, so I'm going to put that on the top. So, and depending upon how long you leave them in, depends on how long the color, how deep the color is. But you also want to be careful that you don't leave it in so long that it, you know, that the paper disintegrates. Ask me how I know about that. So, I have learned a lot over the years of doing this kind of stuff. So, anyway, and then I will do some decorating on the pages, but my intent is, I thought this would make a really cute recipe book, and then people could, you know, whoever I give this to, they could, you know, put their recipes in there. And so then I don't want to have these pages so highly decorated that there's no room for them to either write their recipes or to put their, you know, their cards on here, their recipe cards. So I will probably just do small collages in the corners, maybe a, you know, a small tuck type pocket, something like that. So that's kind of what my plan is. And so when I get it all done, I will come back and show you how I've decorated it, how I've finished it. And I will not do the pamphlet stitch. I have already got a video out there using the pamphlet stitch, or showing you how to make the pamphlet stitch. So I won't make another one. There's no need beating a dead horse. You can go back and watch that. And so I think that is everything. If there's something that I have forgotten to tell you, then I will, you know, when I do my flip through, I hope that I remember. My memory is horrible. So hopefully I'll remember to tell you. So anyway, so this is Deb. I'm going to sign off again, and I hope that you have some kind of a food packaging that you could utilize that's, you know, really cute like this. And so anyway, going to sign off. This is Deb. Bye.